All right, we are live. I think. Yeah, we are live, and this is a little bit of a different setup than I've been doing it. So if you're on Facebook, I cannot see your chats and comments or anything like that. So please head on over to the YouTube channel if you want to engage in a conversation and talk about stuff because I am live, right? If not, then you could just feel free to watch as I talk about how once again the market just shows me no love. It's more of a break-even kind of day. It's like every day what it seems like is happening since 2 weeks ago where I had my last like worst week ever. It does seem like I am getting like break-even days, but slowly getting chipped away. I'm actually losing little like money little bit by little bit because I'm carrying profit, but not taking the maximum amount of profit. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna share with you exactly what that means. But today was one of those days where I got like really sick and tired of the market moving up, but stopping me out first, then moving without me. Does anyone else experience that where you get stopped out, you're long, and then you get entered, and then it stops you out and then moves like crazy up to the upside? If anyone else has felt that, please let me know, because I'm sure it's a common thing, but for me it's that's the story of the day today, and the past several days. And it's in retrospect, it really comes down to the mental game, which I still haven't mastered. I still don't. I mean, I feel like when you do that, when you reach that Zen zone of mental trading, which I only experienced, I only felt like in the zone and really like in sync with the market like a handful of times in my experience, but definitely not any time recently. So here's what happened today. Obviously in hindsight, it's all good. We're all a genius, and we coulda, woulda, shoulda, and everything like that. And that's what these vlogs are pretty much. They're all in hindsight because I do it at market close usually every day. But to the best of my ability, I'm gonna share with you like what was going on as I was live trading. So this morning in the Nasdaq, I'm gonna go down to like a 5-minute time frame. So the Nasdaq is very, very bullish, very, very strong. So I'm looking to pick up the Nasdaq, but I'm fully aware of possible morning corrections. So I'm looking to pick it up at either this quarter, right? This line, basically either this green line or this red line. And this dotted line here, I don't know, it just is glitchy. It just shows that sometimes. But someone else that I really respect and follow, they mentioned that this was this zone right here is a good zone. This right here. Come on. Oh my God. Okay, right there. That's a decent size zone. I'm like, all right, 41 tick zone, and that's smaller than what I usually take, I guess. Like that's like really, really small risk for considerably smaller reward. That's what you end up getting when you take trades like that. But I'm like, you know what? This is one of those people that I do respect, and I do think he has 20 plus years of experience, and I want to respect him when he takes that zone. I'm like, all right, it's near a quarter. All right, so basically I'm front running a quarter. I'll take it. But let's take a look. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually do a replay and give you a little bit of a sense of exactly what I did in real time. Because this way you get to feel what I felt a little bit faster, but like what goes through my mind in real time. And it's not a good thing, right? Don't do what I did, right? I'm showing you what not to do, right? Don't do what I did. All right, let's see here. We're replaying. All right, so. So we have the opening range. I'll tell you when the market opens, technically. Right now it's like, pre-market. There's some volume. Each candle is 5 minutes, okay? Each candle is 5 minutes, and boom, the market is open. Nope, not yet. Hold on. Right there, the market is open. Oh my God, look at it crash down. Oh my God, the world is ending. And hold on. No, I stopped it. Did I stop it, or did I reset it? Crap. All right, screw the replay. That didn't really work out. Sorry, I screwed up the replay. But you can see all these freaking like arrows putting me in. So what I ended up taking was this zone right here got chewed up in literally like 30 seconds. That's never good. When you lose a lot of money, when you lose, whether it's a big zone or a small zone, whatever, when you lose in an instant, it sucks. It's like getting sucker punched. I don't know if anyone here has been sucker punched before, but when I first started training for martial arts, like one of the hardest things to get used to and like fears to overcome in martial arts training is getting hit, right? Because getting hit is part of the game. Unless you're doing like non-contact whatever martial arts and you're not actually ever sparring, getting hit is part of the game. And when I first started, I was very, very tense in getting hit. And that's kind of what it reminded me of today, because I got hit so hard, so fast. I'm like, what? It wasn't a big loss because it was a small zone. But I was like, all right, whatever. Let me take the shot at, let me just do this. Let me take a shot at my entry point, my bread and butter entry point, which is the green line right here. Right? And then I get pummeled. Look how quick. This is a 5-minute chart. Like, instantly I lose. So it's like I got sucker punched twice, right? And so I actually had an order here at the red line, which is the bigger price. The red lines are the bigger, stronger price, as in higher probability for reversals because they're bigger quarters, right? So I had it there and I chickened out. And you shouldn't do this in a fight. You shouldn't do this. In a real life fight when someone has pulls a knife or a gun on you, yeah, run away. But I'm talking about in a fighting match where it's controlled environment, it's a sparring match and inside of a ring or whatever. You don't want to chicken out and run away. That's you're gonna definitely lose. But by doing that, right? Because fights are determined mostly by either knockout or by judges. They're not going to give you points for running away. And I don't get points for running away either, because if anything, I just have buyer's remorse here, or just remorse in general for leaving, because you can see that that area worked beautifully. Now, keep in mind though, this is counter trend because there's a lot of bearish momentum. RSI is way below 40. It's near at the 20. So it's super bearish. So even in my head, I'm when I placed the order and I was watching this happen, all this happen. And before I got punched in the face twice in a row within 60 seconds, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I should take I'll take the 250, the 12,250. And I'll just take counter trend. I'll just try to take a 3-to-1 out of it. So from what that means is a 25-point stop between and a 75-point gain. You can see that this is 12,250. This is 325. That's 75. One contract means that's 150. I usually take 2 contracts because the 25-point stop is $50. So and I like to take $100 zones to $125 zones. So for me, that's this is so it's a $100 risk, $300 reward if I just take it from this 250 to the 325. But I chickened out because I got punched twice in the face, really, really fast. But if you just stick with the plan without getting scared, then you can see that it worked out within the next 20 minutes. It worked out really beautifully, and I was like, "Oh my God, why?" I had it. I had the order there, and I had I had it set up, and then within the span of this candle, this 5-minute span, there's this mental war going on in my head. Oh my God, I got smacked in the face twice. I don't want to go for a third shot. What if I got smacked in the face again? But that's the nature of trading, like I'm like, oh, man, why did I take it? Why did I? And this isn't the first time that I've done that. If you watch me for a while, you know that I've done this a lot. It's not a good thing. It's not a good habit, and I'm just sharing that that's what I did. It's not I'm not bragging about it. I'm actually, really, it's an embarrassing habit because it happens more than once. Sucks. But so after that happened, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I can't, like, just I couldn't bear the thought of me continuing to do that again, right? And I was right, but like the market went up without me. I took a couple of shots in the face, but it went out without me. So I took a shot at the green. This is what's known as chasing price. Also not a great thing to do. Do not do it. I mean, it didn't hurt me because I got stopped out for break even, but like it's not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to do. If anything, I should have, taken another shot at the red, right, where there's obvious levels of support, because like, well, no, I would have gotten stopped out again. This is the other thing. I draw these lines for a reason. It's because I want to take 1, 2, 3 shots at prices, right? And it's really easy to say that, but it's really hard to do that when you're getting punched in the face live, right? It's like, I know that's the reason. I know my trading plan is take a shot here, take a shot here, take a shot here, live with the consequences, right? It's either like if I want to really reduce the risk, it's like $50 risk here, $50 risk here, $50 risk here, $150 total max, right? One of those has got to work, right? Kind of, usually we're in a bullish trend. This only looks bearish because it's the 5-minute chart. But if I like zoom out and let's just reset here. Look at this. This is a 4-hour. Pardon the crazy red and green. But like this is definitely a bullish trend. There's no reason for me to go against the trend. I'm just buying retracements. Like where am I buying it at? I want to buy it at quarters. Which quarters? Well, I want to buy it at the lines that I freaking drew. I drew 1, 2, 3 lines. Those are my 3 chances. 1, 2, 3 chances. And I just missed completely. Like, it just sucks. So don't be like me. Stick to your trading plan. This is where, the emotional awareness and the emotional game really, really comes into play here. I'm sharing with you that after I took 2 shots in the face, and it was so fast. It wasn't big losses, but the speed of the losses made me go on tilt, basically, and it made me shrink and like tighten up. And it's like a reflex, because I've done that when I was fighting too. It's like, if I get surprised, if I take a shot that like I see coming and I'm like, oh no, you got me. It's like, oh, okay, fine, like you got me. Even though like I can, if I'm expecting the hit because like he timed it well, then or my opponent timed it well, I'm like, okay, I accept that. You got the point. I accept that. I can take that. But like, if I get like, if it's like a knockout hit that I don't see coming, like my brain is shaking, right? And that's kind of what it felt like, even though it wasn't a really like big loss money wise. And so anyway, that's just my sharing what I'm feeling emotionally. Like the 3-to-1 counter trend would have worked, but another shot down here would have also worked, and you would have gotten, if you held it more than for the just the 3-to-1, but all the way through the just held it to the end of the day, which is what my trading plan is. Hold things for multiple days. You'd be up. This is like what every line is. This is like 150, 300, and then from green to green is 200. So this is a $500 move. This is a $500 day, right? And that would be I'd only need it. I only need on one contract. I need it on one contract. So it's like I know there's so much opportunity, and I am just swinging and missing. I have the right read, I can see it, right? And this was the case in my martial arts training as well, and as well as in other sports. Like I can see the play happening. I'm like, oh, I know what they're gonna do, but like I'm still too slow to like get there, or I'm still like I mistime it, and it's still like I'm like in that split second. Like if any of you have ever been in like a sparring match before, you know that like it's a game of milliseconds. So it's like in the few milliseconds that I know I screwed up and I telegraphed or something, like I know I'm gonna get hit. I'm like, oh crap, I know this is coming. Sometimes like if I see it coming from a little bit more time, a little bit further away, I am good at countering and stuff like that. But this is something that I'm a feeling I'm very very familiar with. S&P, we'll take a look at the S&P. I just kept missing. It just would not retrace back. I wanted, so like, with the S&P, typically, I want to like see confirmed close above the quarter before I take the quarter. I take a limit order. I usually don't like chase price all the way up with the S&P, especially. So like the last 3 days, like after I see so this is the opening range, I see it closed above. I'm like, okay, after the opening hour, I want to see retracement. So I had an order here, didn't pick me up. It just moved without me. So I'm like, all right, okay, so at the 25. The next day, like I don't know. I guess I could have taken it on the overnight. I guess I could have, but after on the overnight, I think I may have actually put in an order. It didn't come and freaking pick me up. And then same thing today, like on the 50, like I wanted like this. The Nasdaq. This is in correspondence with the Nasdaq retracing, right? Crazy movement on the Nasdaq down. This is a crazy movement on the Nasdaq. It was very, very weak. The S&P kind of followed, but not nearly as much. So while I was busy getting pummeled by the Nasdaq, the S&P was doing this, and I was like, you know what? I don't know about this, right? I want to see a confirmed close above before I try to take a quarter. So I see this candle right here, right? This quarter, I don't have the line. So like if you need the line. It's this blue candle right here that is a confirmed close above the 350. So I had an order that it just didn't come pick me up. So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe this is one of those trends where I just need to like just take a market order when I see the price hit, because it's not retracing and picking me back up. It's just like, right? Like. So it's like, this is what I'm talking about when I say, I can see it. I can see what's happening, and I can even like, call it out on Twitter or something, right? Like, because a lot of traders do that. But none of that matters. I don't do that for a reason, because like none of that matters. Like I want, I don't get picked up on these things because, I don't know. Something's going on where like I'm scared to do a buy stop order. So then what happened is I finally took it on I just got pissed. I'm like, you know what? My strategy and my trading plan works. I'm just too chicken shit to execute it for some reason, right? So I ended up taking I ended up doing buy stop orders, right? I ended up doing I basically set up orders to go one here, and one here. And on the Dow, which, the needle moves faster on the Dow, but it's the cheapest contract. So it's like kind of the easiest to move a lot for cheap, right? So what I ended up doing was I just chased price up, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to chase price. I don't care anymore, because my trading plan is good, I just can't seem to execute. So I got picked up here, and here. Throughout the day today. I'm just like, what? That actually ended up working. So, and for some reason, I guess I must have set one order to take a profit up here. I didn't. Maybe I don't really quite remember, because I was like, in a mental state of like just kind of like anger, and I was a little bit pissed. So it's just like, maybe I did take a. I don't know if I did or not, right? But I definitely sold one here. I remember seeing up to 5 contracts. 5 contracts, but you only see, so it's like 2 on the initial one, and then the third one chase, fourth one chase, and fifth one chase, right? Like, so like chasing 3, right? And it did what I wanted it to, but I don't remember entering a sell order there, but I guess I must have had one set up from before. I don't know. So I took profit a little bit. So all in all of that, bottom line is like I'm negative like $80, which is not a lot, but it's not good either. Negative of any kind is not good, right? And so it was just one of those days where I was watching my like for me, like the negative $80, positive $80, well, that doesn't matter nearly as much as like my mental game in response to the NASDAQ, kicking my ass. I cowered, and I didn't take this shot, and I didn't take this shot, even though those lines are freaking there for me to take shots at those lines. And I'm just like, why can't I do it? So the bottom line today is it's a lesson in knowing versus doing. And I know that I've been in this place before. Again, going back to the martial arts example, I've been in the place where I watched, like when I was more of a rookie, and I was like I hadn't hit my black belt yet, and I didn't get as much. My school, you had to, once you got to a black belt, that's when they trust you more to let you do more sparring than when you're a color belt, because they're just like, you can hurt yourself, and like they don't want to get sued, and that kind of thing. Like America is very, very litigious, right? So so I did a lot of watching when I was a color belt, and I was like really picking up on like, oh, I get it, I can do it, like I get it, I can do it. And it's like same thing in like blackjack, for example. Like, oh, I pretty much memorized the basic strategy chart. But when you are in Fate, you have 16, and you're facing a face card, like a dealer has a face card, it is very, very difficult in your mind, especially if you have a big bet, all right, and you're losing already. It's very difficult to take the hit and risk busting on a very, high probability chance of busting hand, right? It's very difficult. Knowing and doing is so different, and that's really the lesson for me today. One of the other wins that came from was the news breakout. Today is Wednesday, so we did get crude oil news. I take it on the QM because it's a cheaper contract than the CL, and I got put in on the short, which stopped me out, but I did get picked up on the long. I should have faded, because the longer trend was bullish. One of the things that I noticed even before the day opened up on crude oil today is you got this consolidation thing happening right here, right? So you see this kind of pattern. I'm drawing it very, very rough because I have the magnet on. I'm not trying to show you that, like, I'm not trying to be an artist here with this, but you can. Oh, come on, so annoying. Okay, so you can see, obviously I didn't draw it perfectly, right? But you can see that there is consolidation happening, right? There's convergence happening. Usually what follows this is a really big move up or down. I don't know which way, right? That's kind of the point. If it's like, if the triangle is converging to the middle, it's kind of like saying, like, we don't know where the price wants to go, right? It's like it's like a tie between buyers and sellers, and once that spring like really, really tightens up, it's gonna explode, just like in nature. And I was like paying attention to it, but I was like, I was scared. Like I saw it coming, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I wanna. Let me wait for the opening range, and it's news day, so it was kind of like I wanted to, wait until the news was over. But like the news, after I got punched in the face prior, I was like, I picked up a little bit of a win on the news. Maybe I just want to step away for the day. But you can see that there's a monumental move down, right? It went past the big quarter boundary here. It went past that. Let me zoom out just a little bit for you here. It went past that. Now I'm on the 4 hour. It broke past all of these levels that were already tested, and guess where it started to turn back around? Another quarter. Like, I didn't think, honestly, this is one I will admit, I didn't look at it. I didn't look at this area to take the reversal, although it does make sense. This quarter is tested, the solid green line. This dotted green line, the 41.50 is tested. So the next logical place, if you're a quarters trader, right? If you don't know what this is, then none of this makes any sense to you. But like, I trade quarters, right? So it's like the next quarter is where it's going to reverse is 41.25, provided that the last time it was at that price, there was strong movement above it, right? If there was a lot of fluttering, a lot of this kind of action or something, when this was last tested, it's not as strong, right? You want to see some freshness, and you can see that the last time it was here, huge 4-hour red candle, right? So there's some strength left there. So you can kind of see like just going back even further, you see this huge strong candle bounces back, and then it finds more strength off of the solid green line, and you see just some crazy move, right? So the next time that it comes back down, it wants to test not this level, not the solid green line, because that's tested. It wants to test the next quarter down, that's fresh, untested quarter. So this is where you see the reversal, right? If you don't trade quarters and you only trade candlestick formations, you see two upside down hammers, right? So that's another indication that there's and you see like bearish. I always say the wrong thing. What's the right word here? Hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. When you see divergence on the 4-hour, that's a very, very strong addition to whatever, right? And you see the next day it gaps up, right? This is a weekend, right? It gaps up, and then and then the next time it wants to test, and it tests the strong solid green line twice. And then it tests either this quarter or this quarter a couple times. All right? Nice long opportunities here and here a couple times. I took this one. I think I took some of them. I didn't take all of them. And then the next one, but those are all used up at this point, right? So it's not surprising to see it chop through today, and then start to test the bottom one, the quarter that has not been tested yet, all the way back in the beginning of August, right? So so yeah, I mean, that to me, like, none of this is this. When I look at the picture with no emotion, it's very obvious, and none of it is really surprising. But in the moment, it's like, this is why you go back and like basketball players, they'll play the game, and in the game they do stuff that they didn't know that they were doing, and then when they go back and watch the film, you're just like, oh my god, no, well, that's why. Like, this is why you go back and watch film. This is kind of what my vlog here is. It's like rehashing the day and going back to watch film, and just sharing with you how I felt about it, because trading is such an emotional game. So my loss here, I took an opening range trade and took a loss here, but I mean, it's same kind of story with the natural gas as well, right? It tested the quarter, bounced back, and then but I missed it, right? I missed it because I don't know why. The other thing that is that I'm holding is the only thing that I'm holding right now is the Dow. You can see there's no other blue circles anywhere. That's the only trade that I'm holding. If I were to take this profit now, then technically I would make $100-something for today. But like, that's not the point of that's not really how I want to trade. I want to trade stacking and like my goal to trade, if I were to go zoom out, is to on the Dow. The Dow and Nasdaq move in similar patterns, except that the Dow is so much cheaper. Right, and it is weaker, but the movement patterns are pretty much the same, right? So it's very, very wicky. There's a lot of like wiki action happening. So like for me, the goal is I remember this consolidation where it was like a week or two of just like, oh my god, the Dow is so boring, so boring, so boring. And I was like waiting. I'm like, okay, when this breaks, right? When this area breaks, I'm gonna be ready. I told myself I was gonna be really ready. I caught some. Not all. Like the idea here, and this is my goal. This is what I'm striving towards, is to take the red, stack on the green. I might lose some stacking action when it happens, because like I said, the Dow is so wicky. If I can do this on the Nasdaq as well, but it's more expensive to do it, and I'm already below my break-even account balance, so like I want to really stick to the cheaper equities. And so like the idea here is like take the shot at the red, and then stack at the green. Take another shot at the red. Well, respect reds need to be respected, right? So it's like, okay, are you closing above? The 4-hour candle did close above. All right, then stack another one, 2, 3, right? And this one's just like RSI is so bullish. I'm like, all right, I'm not afraid then, right? The bullish momentum's gonna stay. Stacking on this quarter would have stopped me out, because usually my stop is the one line previous. So if I stack a quarter here, my stop is down here, and I would have gotten stopped out on one of the contracts. Definitely, right? But I've already stacked what, like 4, 5, right? And I did this successfully. I remember in July I did this successfully until I had like 10 contracts going. But 10 micros is just one standard, right? It's not even that, it's like I scaled into it using micros, paying a little extra commission because it's 10 contracts instead of one regular. But like, that's the account size I have, right? I can't really afford the full size contracts. So it's like this one I would get stopped out, but then I have another chance to take it again, or I wait. I'd say, what, that's a loss. This one I take another stack, and then this is where I would get all stopped out on all of them on the red line. So in that period, so it's like every line is 250. So I make 250, 250, 250. That's 750 points over a span of a week and a half, actually. Over a span of a week and a half, 750 points on the Dow, which is stacking multiple contracts, which is like at least $2,000. That is my vision, right? But obviously, in real time, you don't know that that's happening, and then you take, like, I take one and then I get stopped out, and then I don't take the next ones, and I'm just like, oh, what do I do? When I lost, and then I don't take the quarter above, and it's just like sometimes I feel like I should just like today I got fed up with it. And I was like, you know what? This is not the way that my teacher taught me how to do it. I'm going against my own teacher right now, but I just set up orders. Like I just set it up. Like, okay, like buy stop here, buy stop. Like let's say price is like, whoops. Let's say price is down here, right? I would say like buy stop order, 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 buy stop order. Like setting up like 5 or 6 of them, right? Because I'm just like pissed, right? I'm like, just like, I know we're in a bullish market. The Fed injected $6 trillion into the market. There's no real reason to crash yet, right? Or anything like that, because like the stimulus bill is keeping the stock market, anyway, the financial market is keeping it buoyant. Real life economy, I don't know, right? We live in a crazy world right now, so we don't know what's happening in real life, but in the financial markets, there's no real reason it should crash like crazy when there's so much money supporting the market right now. So I'm definitely looking for buys, not sells. For the stacking kind of thing. You notice I never talk about stacking shorts, right? That doesn't really make sense, because we're not in, like, this is not 2008. Like, this is a different kind of market sentiment than 2008. So I only want to stack longs, right? And so stacking like here, so stacking like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 would have stopped me out on right here, because I would be moving my stop up along the way.
But I also need to be ready to take chances when it comes back down, because when it comes back down here, all the imbalance of buy orders pushes it back up so nicely. And it usually happens the strongest at the red lines. So it's like, you know, 1, 2, 3 three big quarters, 750 points, which is, if I'm doing my math correctly, even if I only had one contract the entire time, if I only had one contract, which I never do, I do a minimum of 2 on the Dow. 2 contracts, my minimum of 2 contracts would be $750, right? But like, I don't know what it is. It's just like I get so gun shy about letting my profits run. You know, I don't know what that's all about. So that to me is, you know, if you zoom out, there's even more of that, you know, in play. Yes, you would have taken stops along the way here. Yes, obviously, but like that's the big picture kind of goal that I'm striving towards, right? And just like I'm gonna keep talking about it, you know, keep putting it out there into the universe until I'm able to execute. You know, that's really my focus. And today I got fed up with it and just took a bunch of markets open now. Now it's kind of correcting a little bit. If it comes back down, then whatever, you know. I'm okay with getting stopped out here because I stuck to my plan. And like tomorrow is another day. Hopefully we get another shot at this, you know. That's it for today. And the other thing that I noticed, the other thing that I learned real quick before I leave is this is a different divergence indicator here. I don't know if you can tell by just looking, because I set up the colors to pretty much be the same. But I realized that divergence, which I want to get alerted on as this candle closes, what I learned is that these red lines don't appear on the candle close. They wait for more price action before this candle even shows up. I was like, no wonder I'm not getting alerted, you know, the way that I want. And I was like, oh, okay, now I figured it out. Finally, I made some progress on deciphering the mystery of the RSI indicator, or rather the divergence on the RSI indicator alerts. Finally. So I have to figure out another way to do that. I have to either just be more diligent about it, which is going to suck because it's going to make my trading plan like a lot more complicated, and complicated is the opposite of is the enemy of execution, right? So like I don't know if I want to do that, but I switched it up. This one shows the drawing a little faster, like a little bit like a couple of candles faster than the other one that I had. So maybe I'll set it up on the shorter time frame, on like the 30 minute or an hour, and on the 4 hour I have to pay attention manually, because 2 4-hour candles is like the next day. Like that's way too much, right? I'll have to set up the alerts on the hourly maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud about how I'm gonna set up my RSI alerts moving forward. But anyway, that's it for the day today. Thanks for watching. This is my trading vlog on YouTube. Still thinking about Forex, but I didn't trade any Forex today. It's all futures today, and I got, you know, pummeled. Even though the profit, the bottom line, doesn't necessarily reflect a beatdown. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Hopefully, I have better news for you and something that you can model from me instead of all the stuff you shouldn't have been modeling about today. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow for another episode.